What is up, YouTube? We are back breaking down last card of the year, last card of ESPN deal, Fight Night, Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. It's not bad for an Apex card. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about it too much, but we'll see what happens. Um, got 13 fights, I believe. And for the random hunt of the day, what we will be doing is, let's spin the wheel. Let me see. Looks like it would be Red Deer at Hirschfelden. All right. Yeah. What a card we got. What we're looking at. Breaking it down. Got to start with Teresa Bleda versus Jamie Lynn Horth. Fight of the year contender. Insane that this is only starting off the card on an Apex card. This could be headlining a fight night. This could be a fight of the year contender. You know what I mean? Like this is what we live for over here. Um, I gotta go Bleda. Bleda by decision. I don't think Jamie Lynn Horth is that good. And yeah. I don't have much to say about this fight. I'm going Teresa Bleda, decision. On to the next fight, we got Alan Fry versus Guillermo Pat, I think his name is. I don't even know. I'm going with Pat, first round KO, making it look easy, and showing that he's one of the best. It's heavyweight too. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how these guys look, honestly. You never know. But we're doing Pat, first round KO there. Don't know either about those guys. On to the next fight, we got Luana Santos versus Melissa Croden. Um, Santos is like, she's high. She's not that crazy. No. Oh, whoa. 6 to 10. 251. Okay. Alright, I just had to see what time to reset it. Luana Santos, she's decent. She's not anything crazy, not a crazy prospect. Whereas Croden, I forget who she beat last time, but she made it look easy. And I picked against her, and I was like, she might be, something. I don't know. It's tough to say, especially at women's bantamweight, but I think I'm gonna have to rock with Croden, and I'm going second round sub. This one's not going the distance. Croden sub is what I'm rocking with here. On to the next fight, we got Sean Sharaf versus Stevie Aspland. Oh jeez, almost died there for a second. I'm going with Stevie Aspland, first round KO. I remember watching Aspland on the Contender Series, just fought a few months ago. Wasn't the most impressive one, but he got a first round finish. I think it was like within a minute or so. And I don't know too much about this Sean Sharaf guy, so I got to go with Stevie Aspland. He was one of the only heavyweights, if not, no, he was one of the only heavyweights that stood out this past season. I'm still like kind of worried about him. I was just like, it's Stevie Asplin, you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that guy. On to the next fight. We got Neil Magny versus Yaroslav Amosov. Making his UFC debut. 28-1, I believe. Only loss coming to that guy that trained out of Black Zillion's gym. What's his name? Jason Jackson, I believe. He was on the Tough season with Usman. I remember that when I've seen Tough highlights. So that's his only loss. And that was the only time I've ever seen him fight, and he did not look that good. Just gonna say how it is. Maybe it was a one-off. I don't know, but I don't even think he's even that crazy of a finisher from what I remember. So the question is, does he pass the Magny test? Which, as of right now, seems to be a 50-50 because Magny's getting past some of these guys. Some of these other guys can't do it. I don't know. I think Amosov is still relatively younger. I don't think he's in his early 30s, I believe, something like that. So we'll see what happens. Wow, I'm surprised there's nothing up there. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. What? All right, we'll try over here. Yeah, Magny, I think is on a 2-fight or 3-fight win streak now, which is fairly impressive. For Magny being this old, I think he's like 41, 42. But like with all that still being said, I think I gotta go Amosov. I think he's gonna come in here. He's gonna make it look boring, but at the same time he's gonna get it done. I'm saying Amosov decision, and wins UFC debut, former Bellator guy. On to the next fight, we got Joe Anderson Brito versus Isaac Thompson. This was supposed to be originally Brito versus... Ooh, who was it? Brito was supposed to face somebody, and I just can't remember who. Literally, this fight's just... Either way, yeah, the fight's on, 3 days' notice. Brito has not looked that well recently, which sucks. Because at one point, I thought this guy was going to be an issue for all featherweights. Now I'm debating whether he could hold a ranking in the top 15. However, I'm at 4 days' notice. Guy that's never been to UFC. Don't know anything about this guy, but from what I've heard, he's not anything. But you never know with sport. With all this still being said, I have to go Brito first round KO. It's how it goes. If I'm wrong, that would be crazy, but I think Brito's slightly overrated, but I don't think he's overrated enough to where he'll lose to a guy on 4 days' notice like this. On to the next fight, we got Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. This is somewhat of a tricky fight. This might be one of the harder ones to predict on this card. Lemos doesn't look that good anymore. She looks older. She's just doesn't really hit that hard anymore, It's but a striker like Lemos also does concern me against Jillian Robertson, who's not a physical grappler like how who did Lemos just fight recently? Was it Tatiana Suarez, who just kind of out physicality'd her and everything? But I don't know. I don't know about this one. Where are all the red deer, man? This is weird. Yeah, we'll go over here, I guess. Yeah, but I still really do think Jillian Robertson is pretty good. She has been on quite a run in the UFC. It's just like it is somewhat of a tough matchup, and it's just like what type of lame-o are we getting? You know what I mean? Like, but I think I am gonna go with Robertson third round sub. I could see her losing like first round, maybe both first and second round, then gets a sneaky sub in the third and just puts it to rest, you know. But we'll see what happens. That's what I think I'm gonna rock with there. Now onto the main card, we got a fight that also just got announced like within the past week. Bobby Green versus Lance Gibson Jr. I'm actually kind of surprised I rocked with this, but I am going to stick with this. I said Gibson Jr. Second round KO is just going to be Bobby Green's chin is gone. I could see Bobby Green piecing this guy up in the first round, though. That's very possible. I really could see that. And just he just gets randomly chinned, and then people are going to be like, oh, that's Bobby Green. He's done. But we'll see what happens. You know, just. Uh, yeah, it's just like I just think Bobby Green's a little older now. He's taking a lot of damage. Still fights like with his hands too far down, you know, and that does kind of concern me when he's close in distance and everything. But you know, he is still pretty quick for especially how old he is. But and I don't even know too much about this Gibson guy. I just like I have a weird feeling that he's getting it done early in the second, and that will be it. On to the next fight, we got Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Marcus Buchecha. Um, I got Nzechukwu KOing this guy in the first round. Too long of crazy clubbing combos. The BJJ guy in Buchecha can't defend it, tries to shoot a shitty takedown, gets stuffed, and Nzechukwu just destroys him. I could see that being done first 30 to a minute 30 into the fight. I just I could see these being one of those Kennedy and Nzechukwu wins where he's destroying him. He's to get him out of there early. So Nzechukwu first round KO is what we are rocking with over there. On to the next fight, we got Morgan Chartier versus Melkazel Costa. Also a tricky fight in my opinion. However, I think out of these two somewhat prospects in the featherweight division, I think one has progressed more than the other. Um, and that is who I will be rocking with. And in my opinion, that is Mel Costa. I think he's on a 5-fight win streak. Has like 3 this year. He was very active earlier in the year. He has shown a lot of improvements in my opinion, and I think he is a legitimate threat in the featherweight division. Morgan Charrier is tricky though. You know, he does everything pretty well. And if like Charrier did win, that wouldn't surprise me too much. It would surprise me though. I really do think Mo Costa is like a guy to watch out for. You know, especially going into 2026 with the potential ranking spot, moving up from there. But yeah, I think with all that, I have to go with Mo Costa decision. It's just I can't trust Charrier enough over Mel Costa, who I think is going to mix it up a little better. But yeah, that's how I'm rocking him over there. On to the next fight, we got Cesar Almeida versus Cesare Oleksiejczuk. Um, yeah, Cesar Almeida. I think last time he fought, he got the win over. Who was it? Abdul Al Razak Hassan. I think it was him, where he was losing the whole fight, got rocked really badly, and then just had a crazy counter. Might have been a counter hook or whatever off the break or something, where he was against the fence and Al Hassan was dead on the canvas. It was bad. It was scary. It was crazy, and yeah, so But Cesar Almeida looked horrible in that. It was just like a great punch, great counter, and Al Hassan, from what I remember, got really reckless, like he always kind of does in those exchanges, and then just finally reaped the consequences of that. But yeah, as for Cesare Olajeszuk, I think he looked really good on the Contender Series, and his brother is back on a win streak as well. His older brother, Michel Olajeszuk. I think I think I have to rock Olajeszuk first round KO. I don't think Cesare lets Cesar get away with this and get KO'd. I don't think he'll be that aggressive. And from there, we will see Olajeszuk move up in the rankings. But I'm rocking Cesare Olajeszuk first round KO. On to the co-main event. Giga Chikadze versus Kevin Vallejos. Kevin Vallejos, one of my most watched prospects. Very high on this guy. I think has insane striking. Boxing is really good, but he is winging shots still, and it's just, he's got some things to work on. He's still very young. I think he's like 23 or 24. So a lot of time for improvements to be made. I'm very excited for this one though. I really am. I think I gotta rock with Vallejos' decision. Just because I don't like how Giga Chikadze's been looking recently. However, this matchup does worry me. Because I did not think Vallejos looked that great against Danny Silva, who, don't get me wrong, Danny Silva was just showboating too much. Like, Danny Silva might have been able to edge that one out if he wasn't acting like an idiot and actually trying to win the fight, but Giga Chikadze losing to Onama is not really the greatest look, especially since Onama just got chipped by Garcia. But this does worry me for Vallejos. It really does. I think with this, like, I think Giga could win. The height and the reach advantages do kind of worry me a little bit, but I would like to think Vallejos will probably mix in grappling a little bit. I could see, 130-27, 229-28s, and Vallejos just keeps climbing the ladder, man. So that would be a great win, though. That'd be very impressive if he was able to pull that one off. So we shall see there. On to the next fight, the main event. Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. Oh, this is cool. Trying to see. No deer. Man, Hirschfeld let me down today, man. This is crazy. What? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing. Alright, well, either way, yeah, so, this main event, kind of doesn't have anything attached to it anymore, somewhat. I wouldn't say that, like, it still is a high-level fight. Some sort of high-level stakes, but with Tyara's win over Moreno and how impressive that was, and with the Pantoja injury, depending on how severe that is, these guys might not even be getting the title shot next. Well, I think if Royval wins, he definitely doesn't get it, but if there is a way that Kape can get it, because I saw someone say this, and I thought that person was delusional for saying, well, he did, to be fair, he did say winner of this weekend gets next title shot, and I disagree. Royval has no chance of getting title shot if he wins this, no matter which way he does it. Unless like some other injuries happen and whatever. But if Kape wins, he has to KO Royval in the first round. Maybe sub him. You can get it. I doubt sub would get him, but he needs to go out there and make a crazier statement than what Taira did. And even then, he might not even get it because they're trying to tap into the Japanese market. Dana White himself said it in the post-fight presser that he's already talking to a guy in Japan like an hour after the main event ended. Hour 30 probably, or hour 40 after the Taira fight ended, so Kape is going to have to do a lot to secure a title shot. I think both these guys might have to fight again after this, rightfully so. It is somewhat of a tricky fight, I think, for Kape. I think he is going to struggle. I think Royval is just going to do the basics really well. The 1-2s are going to be there, throwing in some leg kicks, maybe knees in the clinch. I think he's going to survive like an early onslaught from Kape and then eventually just get the win. I'm seeing 49, 46s across, though. I don't think Kape is going to make it look that competitive. It's just Royval's just going to show he's one step ahead. And we'll see. We will see. I wonder if grappling will play a part in this, or is this going to be mostly a stand-up fight? And how does Royval look after that war with Van? We don't know, but I still think Royval is very underrated. I think he can definitely win this. So I got to go Royval decision. Other than that, YouTube, horrible hunting session. Might not do Hirschfeld for a while after this. But we are back in the hunting. We will see how this goes. Recap, I would ideally like to do Saturday night. Well, probably not Saturday, but Sunday or Monday, not Tuesday like I did this week. Other than that, YouTube, it's been real. I'm out.